Hello everyone. In previous video, we have talked about the classification of meristem. In today's lecture, we will discussing the permanent tissue. What is permanent tissue? Meristematic cells gradually divides and get differentiated to form a permanent tissue. It means that this permanent tissue is composed of cells that have the power of dividing and has attained a definite forms and shape, isn't it? So these permanent tissues are of two types: simple tissue and complex tissue. These simple tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Before going to discuss these three categories, let's we know what is the simple tissue. In simple tissue, these tissues are homogeneous and it is composed of structurally and functionally similar cells. It means these tissues are made up of only one kind of cell. Then the types of simple tissue. The first type, that is the parenchyma, then collenchyma, and last type, that is sclerenchyma. Let's first we discuss what is parenchymatous tissues. These parenchyma, it is a first type of simple tissue. So it is mostly common type of permanent tissue and it develops and forms a ground meristem and that connected with the vascular element from cambium and procambium. So these parenchyma consist of living cell of differing shape and with different physiological functions. They are usually oval, spherical and polygonal in shape. So these parenchymatous tissues are different shape and having their intercellular spaces. What is the intercellular spaces? The gap between the cell, that is known as the intercellular spaces. Here the intercellular spaces are located. So these parenchyma having a abundant protoplast and the cell wall is thin and this cell wall is made up of the cellulose. So, these cells are capable of division even when they are permanent. It may be called as fundamental or ground tissue. Parenchymatous tissue is known as the fundamental and ground tissue. So, where these tissues are located? These tissues are found in cortex, pith, medullary rays, mesophyll of leaves and pulp of fruits. It means these parenchymatous cells sometimes contain a chloroplast in leaves and is called as the chlorenchyma. So these chlorenchyma, in the presence of chlorenchyma, it means they are photosynthetic in nature. In aquatic plant, means hydrophytic plants, large air cavities are present. So if these large air cavities are present, so it means that they are called as the aerenchyma. One thing should be remember, if the parenchymatous cells present the chloroplast, that is known as chlorenchyma, and if the large air cavity are present or large intercellular spaces are present, that is known as the aerenchyma. These facial tissue which make the aquatic plant because of their air cavity, these facial tissues which make the aquatic plant to float on the surface of water. So exactly what is the function of parenchymatous tissue? First function is that the storage of food material, photosynthesis and another that is the secretion. In the storage of food material, parenchyma store food material in the form of starch, protein, oils and fats. In photosynthesis, chloroplast containing a green cell and the manufacturing food during photosynthesis slowly conduct the food and store the water. Then in secretion, various secretory organs of the plants are made up of parenchyma that secretes the useful product like oil, nectars and resins. Then next type that is the parenchyma. This is the second type of simple tissue. In parenchyma, this is the diagram of longitudinal section of parenchymatous tissue. Parenchyma is a special type of parenchyma. These parenchymatous tissues are elongated wall and thickened their corner. Their corner end are thickened. They are living and sometimes contain a chloroplast. They are living and contain a chloroplast. They are more or less rounded or polygonal in shape. So it found only in the primary body and occupies the peripheral position. That means in the hypodermal region of the dicot. It is absent in the stem and leaves of the monocot. Mostly they are present into the hypodermal region of the dicotyledonous plant. Then the good example of the hypodermal region of the plant that is the cucurbita and the helianthus. This cucurbita and helianthus 2 to 3 layers of parenchymatous tissues are present. This parenchyma also occurs in petiole and along the margin of leaves and on both the side of the vans. So these parenchyma are divided into two types, but this division on the basis of their wall of thickening. It means according to type of wall thickening, the two main type of parenchyma can be distinguished. First is that is the angular parenchyma and another is the lamellar parenchyma. So angular parenchyma means the wall of thickening is just like an angle. So this is the angular parenchyma. These angular parenchyma are found in the leaves of Vitis cucurbita, etc. And the laminar parenchyma means just the wall of bricks like structures are located, and in between this wall of brick structure there is a thick some thickening is formed, and that is known as the laminar thickening. So these lamellar thickening of parenchyma are found into the sunflower stem. Then what is the function of parenchyma? It gives flexibility, and another that is the photosynthetic in nature. It means it gives strength to the organ due to its flexible nature. It means that due to its peripheral position in the form of stem. It resists the bending and pulling action of the wind due to the flexible in nature. So again, it carries the process of photosynthesis plant when the chloroplast is absent. Sorry, chloroplast is present in them. The next and the last type of simple tissue is that the sclerenchyma. This sclerenchyma, the term sclerenchyma referred as the complex of thickened wall cell and often form a lignified thick walled. So it adapts the mechanical function. It means this is the supporting tissue that strain which result from stretching and bending of the plant organ without any damage to the thin wall of the softened cell. It is dead tissue. Parenchyma and collenchyma are living tissue, but these sclerenchyma are dead tissue. So without any protoplasm at maturity, the wall are thick with strong thickening and with a simple pits are located. Lignified wall is present in sclerenchyma. Lignified thick wall is present in sclerenchymatous tissue and having their simple pit is located. Sclerenchyma having a small lumen-like structure. That means here the small cavity-like structures are present, that is known as the lumen. Sclerenchyma cells may differ in shape, structure, origin and development. So it is difficult to classify different types of sclerenchyma. Generally, sclerenchyma can be classified in two groups. First is the fiber and another is the scleroids. Then in sclerenchyma, types of sclerenchyma. These sclerenchyma cells occur in many different shapes and sizes, but two main types, that is the fiber and scleroid. So, what is fiber? These fibers are very much elongated. They are thick, elongated and narrow cell with pointed end. The wall are very much thickened, usually dead when they are mature. The cavity is known as lumen. The cavity or lumen is very much reduced. Basically, the fibers occurs in different part of the plant body. They occur singly. If these fibers are occur singly, that is known as idioblast, mostly found the leaflets of cycas. But more usually, they form a band or network of a hollow cylinder. So, the fibers are commonly associated with the vascular tissue but also found in the ground tissue. According to these, they are classified into basic type, xylem fiber and the extraxillary fiber. Xylem fiber, this is the type of fiber. Xylem fiber, it is the integral part of xylem and they develop from same meristematic tissue as the other xylem cell. Then the extraxillary fiber or the blast fiber. They occur themselves in the plant and other than the xylem. They occur in cortex or many closely related to phloem elements also. In monocotyledonous, the fibers are occurs as a continuous hollow cylinder in the ground tissue and they may be situated at various distance under the epidermis called as the cortical fiber. Commonly monocot the fiber from strength around the vascular bundle. This is total about the fibers. Then what is scleroids? In the scleroids, they are widely distributed in the plant body and variable in shape. They are occur singly or in a group and hard masses within soft parenchymatous tissue. So usually these are the isodiametric in shape but some are elongated too, isn't it? But they commonly found into the cortex and pith region. So these scleroids are of four types: branchiscleroids, monoscleroids, osteoscleroid and astroscleroids. What is branchiscleroid? It is isodiametric scleroids. It is again called as the isodiametric scleroids or it is called as the stone cell. which are present into the pulp of fruits, cortex, pith and pericyclic region of coconut shell. Then the next type, that is the macroscleroid. In these macroscleroids, it is just look like a rod-like scleroid, and these macroscleroid which are present into the bark of seed coat in the leguminous plant. Understood? Then the next type, that is the osteoscleroids. These osteoscleroids, they are look like a bone-like scleroid without any end present in seed coat and fruit wall. So the next, that is the astroscleroid. This astroscleroid is star shaped and present in dicot leaves of gymnosperm. The next type and very rare type, that is the filiform scleroid. Just it is the stem like structures of filiform scleroids are present. So this is a total about the permanent tissue. Here in permanent tissue, we study the types of tissue, type of permanent tissue. Today we only discuss about the first type, that is the simple permanent tissue and their types. It includes collenchyma, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma and their types. I hope you understand the simple permanent tissue. In next video, we will discuss the complex permanent tissue. I hope you understand the simple permanent tissue. Thank you.